What's up, guys? Mickle here. And more than 24 hours after we saw the BlackRock XRP ETF filed, this thing has not been pulled down. Now, yesterday, there was a lot of people saying that this thing was fraudulent. It was fake filed by someone who was trying to manipulate the markets. But if that was the case, people are asking the question, why hasn't this thing been removed from the website? In this video, I want to give you my thoughts on this, whether or not I think that this thing being on the website still is any indication that maybe it in fact was filed by BlackRock for an XRP ETF. In this video, we're going to talk about that, as well as some very exciting news around the Ripple SEC case. We are actually entering into a very interesting period where we're going to find out not only how much Ripple owes the SEC for their sales of XRP to institutions, but more importantly, how long is it going to be until the SEC can actually appeal this case? This is an absolutely critical question for the market today because right now institutions need to know, is the XRP decision that it is not a security going to stand, or is the SEC going to appeal that in the near future? In this video, we're going to talk about that, so make sure to stick around for this whole thing. Like always, your support means so much to this channel. If you enjoy these videos, make sure to take a quick second to like this video and subscribe to my channel. It's really going to help me out so much. Also, if you ever need a good place to buy some XRP, make sure to check out my favorite exchange, Uphold, down in the description of this video. Uphold is currently giving away 50,000 XRP. Someone just won 20,000 XRP the other day, so make sure to sign up with Uphold using the link in the description of this video. With that said, though, let's jump right into it. I hope you guys enjoy the content. So I want to start this video off and talk about the BlackRock XRP ETF still being up on the Delaware website, because a lot of people are pointing to this as an indication that, hey, maybe this filing was actually legit by BlackRock. Maybe it wasn't just someone trying to manipulate the market. So a lot of people are just pointing to the fact that this thing is still up on the website and saying, oh, that means it's real. And I just want to point out the fact that government entities work very slowly. They're probably having a very hard time actually confirming whether or not this thing was manipulative or whether or not it is a real ETF. And they might already even know the answer to that, but because these entities work so slowly, they just haven't pulled it down yet. I want to say right now, despite the fact that it's still up on the website and despite the fact that we haven't seen Ripple comment on anything, my assumption going forward is that this thing is fake. To me, there is just way too much suspicious things around this thing being filed. The XRP price action really does indicate that it is fake. So my base assumption going forward is that this thing was in fact fake and was done to manipulate the markets. There's been some other reporting today that the Justice Department is actually going to be investigating who put together this fraudulent filing. But the weird thing about all of this is all of these things are coming out with almost no sources. It's always an unnamed person at BlackRock. It's always an unnamed person from the Justice Department. And there's never actually any concrete answers on exactly what's going on here. To me, it definitely is strange that this thing is still up on the website. I mean, to me, if this really was market manipulation, you'd want to pull this thing down as fast as possible. All you would have to do is reach out to BlackRock and say, hey, did you guys file this ETF, yes or no? If the answer is no, you pull it down. So I totally understand why people think it's weird that this thing is still up, but right now, based on the reporting I have seen, I'm still going with the assumption that it is fake. I think it's the safer perspective to have here. It leads you to not be disappointed when it probably is in fact fake, and then if we get some crazy surprise that it is real, well, it's only upside from there. I just wanted to point this out because there are a lot of people still believing that this thing is real because it's up on the website. My base assumption here is that the entity that actually controls these filings just has no idea what's going on. They're probably really confused about why someone would even fake this. They probably don't understand the cryptocurrency industry that well. And I think that's the only reason it's still up on the site. I just wanted to bring this news to you because this whole thing has been a fascinating story. And I want to make one other point clear because I think some people are taking a perspective on this, that this somehow makes XRP unreliable or the XRP community is at fault for believing this. I don't think anyone in the XRP community is at fault at all here. To me, the simple fact that you could have a random person file something in BlackRock's name, something that would actually get posted on the website and believed by institutions and market participants, to me, that's an issue with the old guard. That's an issue with how this process is put forth. Like, we shouldn't be able to fake these filings and manipulate the market. That's a complete flaw in the system. It has nothing to do with XRP. This could have been done to any cryptocurrency. So I just want to push back really hard on anyone saying this is some XRP community thing, this is some XRP thing. This is a total issue with how our government works. Stuff like this shouldn't be able to happen, and this is blatant market manipulation. It has nothing to do with cryptocurrency. Like I said, this could have been done with any cryptocurrency. It could have been done with any stock. It has nothing to do with crypto. So I just want to push back on anyone saying this is some XRP thing. I do not blame people at all for falling for this. At the end of the day, the head of BlackRock's digital asset strategy group is a Ripple ex-employee. We also have a Ripple board member who was at BlackRock for 25 years. The connections are all over the place. I don't blame anyone for seeing BlackRock file an XRP ETF on an official website and thinking it's real. So now I want to move on and talk about something pretty exciting in terms of the Ripple SEC case, and that's that we actually just got the first filings for what is going to happen in terms of Ripple's punishment. So they just set forth the dates for exactly when they're going to be arguing Ripple's fine for their institutional XRP sales. And I just want to break this down very quickly before we get into the really good news here. And the first good news I want to break down is that Ripple is not going to have a big fine. The SEC is trying to say that Ripple owes them $600 million for institutional sales, but the SEC has a colossal problem on their hands. None of Ripple's sales took place in the United States, so almost none of that $600 million is actually going to be damages that the SEC is allowed to claim because the SEC only has jurisdiction over the United States. But the other big issue for the SEC, and this one's pretty funny too, is almost no institutional investors lost money. Most of the institutional investors gained a lot of money on XRP, and therefore the SEC can't count these as damages either. So the SEC is asking for $600 million. They'll probably get $10 to $60 million max. So that's really bad news for the SEC and a big win for Ripple. But the other very big thing for the XRP community is attorney Fred Rispoli doesn't see an appeal going through or possibly being ruled on until mid-2026. Guys, by then we have a completely different SEC. Gary Gensler's gone, and we might even have crypto policy in place. To me, this makes me very confident that this ruling is going to stand, and Fred Rispoli seems to think so too. He tweeted out, "Game over, SEC, you lost." Overall, I think this is the most important news because so many people were saying for such a long time, the only reason the SEC dropped charges against Brad and Chris was to appeal this case faster. They were saying they were going to appeal this case instantaneously, and we were going to have this entire decision reversed maybe in the next year. That is turning out to be completely false. It looks like we're not going to have any kind of appeal decision until well after Gary Gensler's gone, and I just don't even see it happening. The SEC lost on every major issue. They lost on every major issue because they didn't bring any evidence, and what we're seeing is their case is just getting weaker and weaker. If they walk out of this case with only $20 to $30 million, and Ripple was paying $150 million for their legal fees, that is a huge slap in the face to the SEC, especially with the amount of XRP Ripple actually has. Billions of XRP, billions of dollars on their balance sheet. It's just a complete embarrassment for the SEC, and I just can't see them taking this case any further. As Stuart Alderati said very clearly, Ripple is happy to go to the Supreme Court. Ripple is happy to go to the Second Circuit because the SEC's chances just get worse and worse. Just wanted to point that out there. A lot of people are spreading FUD saying this thing was going to get appealed and reversed. It looks like the complete opposite is true. And I want to finish this video off and talk about one last thing, and that is some very important macro data that came out earlier today, and that is that inflation is now down to 3.2%. So many people were calling for a re-acceleration of inflation. The last report we got was at 3.7%. Guys, the Federal Reserve's target is anywhere in the 2% range. We are approaching that number rapidly right now, and that means the Federal Reserve can stop hiking interest rates, and that means the Federal Reserve can probably start cutting interest rates soon, and it means that our economic environment is going to get a lot friendlier to technology companies, cryptocurrency investments, and everything we like to invest in. So this is overall just really, really good news. This is what I have been saying if you've been following this channel for a very long time. I have been one of the few people saying inflation is coming down, and the Federal Reserve has already achieved their target pretty much. They just need the lags to take an effect. They just need their high interest rates to really crush inflation, but they don't need to go any higher. It looks like that is exactly what's taking place right now, but the most important part is companies are still reporting good earnings. This is propping up the economy as the Federal Reserve kind of works in the background to kill inflation using interest rates. But once inflation's gone, there's going to be no more need for high interest rates, and we're going to be back to a period that's very bullish for assets like cryptocurrencies and stocks. I will say the one weird thing that happened today was cryptocurrencies really didn't react much to this news. It seemed like the stock market reacted very, very positively to this news, but cryptocurrencies really kind of had a down day. The one thing I'll say about that is cryptocurrencies have been on massive runs recently. Most cryptocurrencies are up 50 to 100% on the month. So I think we might have just been cooling off. But the good news is based on everything we're seeing on the macro data, things are actually looking much, much better and not worse like many of the bears were expecting. So far, it looks like to me, we're going to be entering a period very soon where we're almost back to normal. This would be extremely bullish for the cryptocurrency sector because right now the big asset managers just can't justify investing in this sector. They can't go to their different constituents and say, hey, we're putting all your money in cryptocurrency, despite the fact that we're in this massively challenging economic time. They just need to be safe. It's how they operate. They're extremely conservative. But if we actually got a lot of these economic woes out of the way, cryptocurrencies are going to see a massive amount of capital flow back in because they survived all the chaos we have been through over the past 3 years. To me, things are looking very good. This inflation number makes me more and more confident that everything I have been talking about over the past couple months has been correct. Let's see how it plays out. It seems like we're almost at the finish line. Let's just hope the economy doesn't fall apart in the next couple months before we truly get to the other side of this. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really does mean so much. And for now, Mickle out.